Let's go.
Thank you very much, Eri. Welcome back to the panel, everyone. I have Lacoste and Luminous joining me today. And, well, it looks like Lumi just almost awake for this series, but good morning and afternoon.
I'm always awake, always ready.
I'm ready.
Cheers. All right, so we've got paiN Gaming versus Team Spirit. We've seen Team Spirit on the main stage for quite a lot during Galaxy Battles, but for paiN Gaming, they played off stage on day one, and we only managed to see them play one game on the main stage. So we don't really have too much data to work with, but we do have a lot of data to work with for Team Spirit. So let's start with them, and then we'll move over to paiN. So what do we know about Team Spirit right now?
Well, Team Spirit is a classic CIS team that loves to play with a lot of push strategies, those semi, let's call it cookie cutter strategies instead. They love to play aggressive in the early stages of the game. They use a lot of smokes, and they love to keep the pressure, especially with Chen. We still didn't see Chen. I think it's time to pull some big guns here. It's
if it's not banned out.
It was not banned out neither of the games when teams played against them. So also they love Lone Druid as well. They love to combine heroes who have a lot of push potential with a lot of heal. Chen, Witch Doctor.
Yeah, they're one of the few teams that have been playing things like Venge, aggressive tri-lane, which is not something that we've seen from...
Which is garbage, yeah.
I mean, they did it, so they did lose the game. But yeah, they do love playing those strategies. Drow lineup we've seen from them as well. So I'm expecting them to come out very aggressive. I think when you're in a best of one, being proactive is probably the best way to go.
Yeah, Drow Ranger is going to be the contested hero because Team Spirit loves to play it, and paiN, they pretty much always ban out the Drow Ranger, especially in the second stage. They have super low win percentage against Drow.
Okay.
So knowing that Team Spirit, they love to go for these push, not push-centric, but lineups that have elements of push, what kind of heroes are you looking to ban out to prevent your push lineup from being depushed?
I think one of the best way to slow down a push or even prevent it from happening is just having really strong lanes. We've seen in this tournament where teams pick up like Lycan or Shaman, but once they lose the lane stage, they don't actually push to like 15, 20 minutes later. So I think the go-to hero for both of these teams is actually Razor. I've set Razor for both a lot of these games already because it's a very strong laner. I think a lot of the off laners can't really 1v1 against Razor. It's very strong during the stages where the pushes does come. You could itemize for the push. You could tank in the front line. You could fight very well. And again, both these teams really love the hero. So I'm wondering if it's going to be first phase ban out, or are we going to see one of the teams nap it up really fast?
All right, the draft is live, so let's jump into it right now for this best of one series. It's going to be very exciting. Now, I do have a little bit of data on some of these teams. Now, both paiN and Spirit, they love to play Sand King.
Yeah, it's going to be first picked. Probably the Razor you were talking about, Lumi, is already out. Team Spirit seems like they are ready. They banned 3 heroes in just a couple of seconds. Also, for the paiN Gaming, they are playing with a stand-in. They're playing with V. I think this is the first time, actually, that the European is playing in South America.
If you don't count Jimmy. Jimmy's like a Mr. International man, so yeah, he counts for every region, I guess.
He's in the same bracket as Black.
Radiant team.
Fair enough.
All right, the Witch Doctor going to be snapped up here by Team Spirit, so they are going to be grabbing up that healing support that you were talking about, Lacoste. Not really revealing too much about their draft so far. I think the interesting thing, though, is that if paiN Gaming get first pick, they love to pick up the Tiny, but this game they're actually banning it out versus Team Spirit. Is this an indicator of anything?
Team Spirit first picked Tiny in all of their matches. Not very successful. They ran it mid and off lane. Tiny is one of the heroes that is super versatile. You can also run it as 4 if needed.
Gonna have to wait for this next pickup here by paiN Gaming now. Looking at paiN Gaming, as we were talking about, they both teams love to run Sand King, so Sand King probably in the books here for paiN Gaming. They've also played Clockwork, Enigma, I believe, obviously Tiny as well. Sand King gonna be grabbed up really quickly by paiN, followed by an Ancient Apparition.
Tusk is in the pool. They should get it. That's the most contested hero in pretty much every region.
You're talking about your Team Spirit here?
Yeah. But most of the time, Team Spirit bans it out, so I'm not sure if they have a player for it.
I don't think they actually play Tusk that much, so
We've seen Biver. Biver played
5
Undying.
seconds
I
Yeah.
believe he also played the Sand King. Have we
Yep.
seen him play anything else?
It's definitely not their first choice, for sure.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's just Sanking.
Have to see what this next pickup's going to be. Here it is. It's going to be the Earth Spirit. So roaming Biver, Earth Spirit. This fits his playstyle really well. We've seen that Team Spirit, they love to roam Biver. He loves to win those lanes for his teammates. And I think in particular, they need to prioritize DK Phobos' lane. We saw that in their last set, that they set Biver in the off lane with DK Phobos on the Undying. They needed to prioritize that Brewmaster lane. They didn't win that game, I believe. But the idea is that you can tell that Team Spirit, Biver and DK Phobos, they probably work very closely together.
That's true. This is a really weird picks and bans so far. No Omni Knight, no Tusk pickups. They survived both in the second banning stage. I mean, they can't pick Tusk anymore. Omni was still pickable.
10 seconds remaining.
Sanking NA and AA opening is really strong.
5
Newbie
seconds
loves to run
remaining.
it. That's the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I see it. The combo is so good, you have a guaranteed stun.
We still have a Lycan in the pool. We saw it in the last game just now, and
Dire team
went
back.
kind of crazy. Broodmother going to be the choice ban here for paiN Gaming. Now Team Spirit, do they let that Lycan through?
I mean, Lycan is one of the heroes that you can somehow always sneak in. It's really strong laner because of the natural
10
regen he
seconds
has, plus the items he built also provides him more regen. We've seen in the
5
previous game
seconds remaining.
how deadly it can be. They took down all tier 2 towers in 15 minutes.
Let's not forget the illusion-based meta we've sort of visualized at Galaxy Battles. Both Terrorblade banned out. PL is still available in the pool. A lot of teams, they have been contesting for that PL pick.
Sure.
Radiant
I think Team
team
Spirit
pick.
is the team that's least likely to pick up PL between these two. I don't think it really fits their playstyle. They like to be aggressive, and PL, as powerful he is, he does take a little bit of time to come online.
We'll have to see what paiN Gaming goes for. But so far, when you visualize these drafts, Lacoste, is there anything that
10
we're expecting
seconds
from paiN
remaining.
Gaming? They're running an Ancient Apparition. Normally, you'd want to play aggressive with this, or can you play an
5
alternative
seconds
style with
remaining.
this lineup?
Well, AA is kind of forgotten hero. We've seen him yesterday. I was wondering why he's not that picked. Nothing changed for the hero. I think most of the time because CK is banned out by most of the teams, so the combo that AA and CK provide is just too deadly to have. So AA needs another partner. But AA plus a Sanking, whatever they pick as a carry hero, they can go tri-lane with it easily.
Ooh, paiN Gaming, they are going to be going back for that Enigma again. They have played it at least once at Galaxy Battles, so looks like they're confident with that pick. Enigma adding elements of push, that black hole. Lumi, can you decipher anything here from paiN Gaming?
I like the Enigma
10
pick a lot
seconds
because not only does he assist the early game pushing strat, but also kind of let you fall
5
back for late
seconds
game. Because the one thing about Enigma is that you could get that Midas, you get that 15% CDR talent, and you could actually scale into late game extremely well. It's not surprising for Enigma to go 6-7 slots if the game does go long enough.
Yeah, especially with the third Roche dropping the refresher shard. It's
Yeah.
so good. This opens up also the Lycan, which is not banned out for paiN Gaming. The Eidolons with the Howl, they provide you so much damage in these
It's
team
actually
fights.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like how on spiders and then how on an Eidolons is one of the most broken things you can do.
They need something to pierce Enigma's BKB in the later stages of the game. None of these supports provide it.
So if you're looking for core piercing through BKB, and
So they
ideally
might
you want
want
it
to go
from
for
range, right?
might go for Avenge here. That's what they've been playing. That was not successful because of the laning stage, how they placed it. But it might work this time if they want to run it.
Yeah, that's a range way to break that BKB black hole. I guess Beastmaster is something that also could do it, although we haven't seen that hero a lot.
Yeah, it's actually DK Phobos is one of the most played heroes.
Yeah, he is.
Besides Panda.
He's definitely a very old school player, and so he's played a ton of these, I guess, more traditional offlane heroes.
Radiant
Here we go. They've got their pick. It's going to be the Lycan. Do you actually think that maybe Team Spirit, they're
they've
forced
stole
to pick it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Don't want to give the Howl boost to the Enigma. So if you're paiN Gaming, would you expect the Lycan pick? Or you say, okay, we'll give you the Lycan because you picked the Enigma. We've got something else.
Well, they need to
10
adapt.
seconds remaining.
Yeah. Especially they want some hero that could maybe protect the
5
back line.
seconds
Right now the back
remaining.
line looks very weak for paiN Gaming when the Lycan goes on the AA, and even when Enigma is not itemized for it, when Lycan goes on both these heroes, they just actually can't do too much.
Yeah, what Team Spirit can do, it's always reliable thing to break the BKB on Enigma. That doesn't matter even if he has Lincoln Sphere, it's a Void, plus they have a good combo with the Witch Doctor.
Okay.
But they need a ranged,
Or Lycan's
ranged
a
hero.
little awkward.
Yeah, but just with the Witch Doctor plus one mid hero, the ranged one, they have enough. You don't need to set up
Sure.
four-man wombo.
Are you a fan of Core Silencer at all costs?
I've been
mean, that
trying to make
also-
it work, but it's not that good.
Okay.
Okay, so joke question. All right. Queen of paiN going to be picked up by paiN Gaming, so it looks like that'll be their tempo controller, leaving their carry to that last pick. Now, if you are paiN Gaming, do you consider someone that's going to be a heavy carry, or do you go for a semi-carry and finish this game early versus Spirit's lineup?
I think you need something that
10
could
seconds
scale
remaining.
late. They have the possibility already Enigma, but I think also
5
one other
seconds
checkbox
remaining.
you need to take is you need somebody to stand in the front line. Because so far right now, all of these heroes are really incapable of tanking up in the front, especially against the Lycan damage that he could dish out.
What picks could we actually see here, low cost? What fits into their draft?
They need a hero that can sustain in the mid lane against the Queen of paiN. Doesn't necessarily need to be a super early hero that can provide much team fight. Yeah,
Ooh. Interesting choice for Team Spirit. Going to be going back to their roots as they are Team Spirit. Not much disable on the side of paiN Gaming. They've only got the Sand King Burrow Strike to really catch him out. A Black Hole if they can get that onto a Storm, but in most circumstances that shouldn't happen unless there's the
10
setup.
seconds
So
remaining.
is Spirit, do they feel safe running the Storm Spirit here? Is there a reason why it's a 4th pick
5
and not a 5th
seconds
pick? Because
remaining.
Storm hasn't really been banned this tournament.
I think they want to protect DK Phobos' pick till a little bit later. Unfortunately, they don't have the ultimate final pick anyway, so regardless if they pick it here or on the 5th pick, there is one pick left for paiN Gaming to counter anyway.
Dire
So
team ban.
I don't think there's too big a difference. paiN Gaming will take out the Darkseer, which honestly there's not too much combo play apart from the Earth Spirit kick.
no.
Yeah,
So I think Void is out since they picked out Storm Spirit, so they might go for something more traditional, something like a Batrider
10
to
seconds
start the fight with.
remaining.
Sure.
They need more control.
5 seconds
Waiting for this
remaining.
last ban here for Team Spirit. So Team Spirit, as you guys said, they're going to be waiting for DK Phobos' hero. paiN Gaming looking for something sustainable
Or
that's
a
able to
Tide
frontline.
Hunter. Tide Hunter is really good here.
For Team Spirit?
Yeah.
it's always a little wonky to pick Tide into Enigma because Enigma does have the
It's
guarantee
true.
control.
Yeah, but
There's the-
somehow you forces him to use a Black Hole, so it's kind
It's
of
like
a double
yeah,
edge.
mind games like
yeah.
who's going to chicken out first.
Okay, there's the Void ban. Now Team Spirit, they've only got 20 seconds to pick. Here we go. It's going to be the Venomancer for DK Phobos. And we have seen him play this. And they won that matchup, but we could say DK Phobos in that game wasn't really contested.
That game, he had a very favorable matchup against a safe lane Puck with Drow Aura. So it was just a pretty much guaranteed win. My biggest concern right now for Team
10
Spirit is
seconds
where's the
remaining.
lockdown? Where's the control for now Queen of paiN, the BKB Enigma?
5 seconds
If Earth
remaining.
Spirit doesn't hit boulders and silences, they rely on Witch Doctor's stun, which is pretty unlucky. I mean, it's RNG.
Choose your
Yeah.
hero.
Plus, they don't have anything to clear the Phantom Lancer illusions. I mean, they have Poison Nova, deals a lot of damage, but I really prefer paiN's gaming lineup this time. They have nothing to break the BKB on Enigma with these heroes.
I could see like 2 to 3 different heroes that paiN Gaming could just solo win the game after get to a certain stage. Enigma being one of them, PL the uncontrollable factor. With the Saving Graves, ILTW, if he gets off huge, right? Like if there's a big Storm Spirit, I could see him solo carrying it, but
Yeah, but he's playing against Queen of paiN.
Yeah,
who
it's not a
has
good
fair-
matchup, so-
Not a good matchup for Storm.
gonna go with paiN as well.
All right, so we got 2 for paiN Gaming. Confirmed, no one changing their mind?
No
100% sure?
Yeah,
Give me a toast, Lumi.
that's fine.
Give-
All right, fine.
We are doing this, Lumi. Lumi?
You don't toast tea.
Lumi.
All right, fine, okay.
Holy shit.
There we
Lumi,
go.
you're
All right,
such
we're
a
going to throw it over to
savage.
the
I'm a savage.
casters. All right, guys, we're going to throw it over to our casters right now. We're going to throw it over to Bcop and Tsunami. Take it away for this best of one.
All right, guys, here we are, another elimination game, this time between Team Spirit and paiN Gaming, as we are ready to go into this best of one. How you feel on both these drafts for both these teams?
Another elimination game, another game where everything rests on the shoulders of an Enigma. In game one, Kezu came out strong, earned himself a very respectable MVP. Now we'll see if Tabo can do the same thing, but like the draft was saying, it's not really necessary for Enigma to just ball out of control. They've got Phantom Lancer, they got Queen of paiN. Hell, I could even see this Sand King going out of control. Team Spirit, on the other hand, they are so heavily reliant on ILTW having a successful game. It doesn't have to be a good game, it has to be a great game from the Storm Spirit if Team Spirit want to win.
So you're relying on Storm Spirit. You don't think DK Phobos, because I feel like every time I see him on Venomancer, he's able to make a lane for himself, able to find that farm. He, to me, is a game changer for Team Spirit. You think if he has a good lane, is he going to be able to do enough for Team Spirit if maybe that Storm Spirit doesn't have that perfect lane?
DK Phobos is, I never have any doubts about him. He has proven himself to be the most consistent player on Spirit throughout this tournament and throughout their qualifier runs and whatnot. The problem is that Venomancer is not a game-winning hero. Venomancer is lane-winning hero, absolutely, which is why I'm not too concerned about him and his 10 tangos no doubt dominating this lane. The problem is that you progress as later and later on into the game, and Phobos isn't really able to, he's not going to stun people, he's not going to keep this Queen of paiN under control. Enigma can easily transition into a pipe if he sees the desire to do so. We'll see what Tabo finds necessary. It's not critical for him to be the initiator because he's got a Sand King on his team, so we can see a more utility-oriented Enigma coming out. And whatever hero of Team Spirit ends up being the biggest deal, that's what paiN Gaming are going to engineer their builds towards.
So for right now, we take a look at the lane matchups that are going on at the moment. We've got bottom, we've got a tri-lane for HFN on this Phantom Lancer. He's got himself a little bit of help from Duster as well as King RD up against Bibber on the Earth Spirit, and then DK Phobos, of course, on this Venomancer. So it seems like they just don't want to give DK Phobos this open lane, and they've got the Burrow Strike to start it off onto this Venomancer, slowing him down. Rolling Boulder's not going to be out in time, and there's the first blood already for the side of paiN Gaming.
Chilling touch with a tri-lane. Always terrifying to go up against. HFN with the Lance slow, King RD with boots and a Burrow Strike. Down goes the Phobos Venomancer.
Yeah, they're trying to actually think about going up on him again. Again, they throw the Spirit Lance through. There's the Burrow Strike to follow it up. The Rolling Boulder comes out, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. And there's the kill for Duster. So right away, 2 kills for the side of paiN Gaming in this bottom lane.
Viper ever so briefly left. Wanted to maybe get some more information on the other sides of the map, but Sand King did not go anywhere. He continued staying in this lane, and yeah, another kill goes down for Venomancer, and worst part is, no TP scroll. All these branches, all these tangos are useless because homie's got to walk back with 279 move speed to this bot lane.
Yeah, so right away, they're already harassing DK Phobos just so much, but is that enough open space for ILTW right now for the Storm, or is it really just not matter?
That's part of the reason why they're giving so much attention to Phobos, because the Queen of paiN Storm Spirit matchup is not really that big of a concern for the Queen of paiN. Like, if you rotate on Storm Spirit, you can probably get kills, which is why King RD ever so briefly did transition to the mid lane just a few seconds ago and actually meets a rolling Earth Spirit, but Viper ends up getting the bounty rune. But King RD, he's got boots, he's still level 1 right now, and usually that's a bit of a setback, but Storm Spirit's a pretty slow hero, and if you're able to pour some damage into him, if Wee's able to chip down the Storm Spirit, then you can definitely get a kill with just a Burrow Strike.
So over bottom, a little bit of a kick, pushing King RD back as they've already gotten themselves 2 kills over bottom. Is that enough to maybe move this Sand King or the Ancient Apparition to another lane to help out, or do you just want to keep being aggressive over bottom?
Both of them have their straight out of the base TP scrolls. They're in no rush to go anywhere. Right now, they're getting some pull experience. Right now in the top lane, Enigma's having a grand old time. He's got stacked camps, seeing from Team Spirit. Witch Doctor's not really that effective at zoning out in Enigma because you have to deal with all these Eidolons, so they've got nothing better to do other than go on bot again as Venomancer gets stunned, gets killed.
And they actually continue to go in onto Bibber. There's the chase. They've got this Burrow Strike in just a moment, but there's Kofi coming through. HFN onto the lane. Burrow Strike a little bit short, but not going to matter. HFN cleans him up, and it's a double kill here for the Phantom Lancer.
Oh god, Duster. The creeps he gets out. This is a brutal lane for a Venomancer. This man has not been able to eat any of his regen yet. He was not expecting this level of aggression. Like, normally, Sand King, whenever we see Sand King or Ancient Apparition, they're usually relegated to maybe like a dual mid situation. But in this mid lane matchup, it's a classic mid lane matchup, one that we haven't seen very frequently in this tournament because everyone's too busy sending offlane heroes, sending cores. But it's standard 1v1 mid, which means that Sand King and Ancient Apparition, they'll continue helping out this Phantom Lancer. They'll make sure that this Phantom Lancer has probably an early Battle Fury. I hate to say it. I used to always say early Diffusal Blade, but this game I think Battle Fury is probably the best option.
Yeah, the times are changing. He's going to be going for that Battle Fury, but they continue to harass out DK Phobos, which it just seems like they don't care about the Storm right now. What they care about is getting DK Phobos down, as he always seems to be the game changer for Team Spirit. And if they're able to shut down the Venomancer or get a good lane for the Phantom Lancer, I mean, does that transition into them just being able to take care of this Storm Spirit?
Yeah, it'll be whenever we wants to go. Right now, we is content just going farm to farm, toe to toe. Like, they're pretty much even in CS in the mid lane right now. If anyone wants to mix it up, it will be paiN Gaming, because Witch Doctor is getting a fair amount done. Even though he's not getting kills, even though he's not really zoning out the Enigma, he's getting full experience. And a Witch Doctor with levels is always valuable.
So disconnecting is this Enigma Tavo, who is having not exactly an amazing lane, only 8-9, but
It's a 1v2. What do you expect from the man?
I expect every Enigma off lane to do amazing.
No. That was in the era of Iron Talon. That item is gone. On the flip side, Poor Man's Shield is gone, so Eidolon's a little more useful against the enemy laner. So Enigma's in a comfortable spot as far as I'm concerned. And Kezu in that previous game, that immediately eliminated any suspicions I had about the viability of the hero.
Looks like we're ready to go. We're underway here. 4-0 lead for paiN Gaming to start it off just 3 minutes in. And they're looking real good early to a point where I kind of worry about Team Spirit in this game as a whole. I just don't know if they're going to be able to hold through this early game, and it comes with so much aggression from paiN Gaming overall in all these lanes, it seems like.
Yeah, the draft was mainly skeptical about what would happen in the late game situation for paiN Gaming, because Spirit have pretty good laners. Like, Earth Spirit is a fantastic roamer, probably better than Sand King, but Viper has not had an opportunity to roam because he's been so married to this bot lane with Phobos, making sure that Phobos doesn't get completely destroyed. And too late, damage has been done. Phobos is like, well, I just have to use jungle now. I hit level 2, I can't do anything, I can't go back to the lane anymore.
Yeah, so DK Phobos stuck in the jungle, but I feel like I see this more times than not from him, and he's still able to make something happen. But over mid, let's take a look. We've got Duster here, King RD smoked up, ready to go on over mid. And ILTW, however, is going to back off, so it doesn't look like this smoke's going to turn into anything just yet. But coming around is Bibber. He might be putting himself in a bad spot, or possibly a good counterplay. As over top, they take a look. FNG spots King RD. They try to get back, and no Burrow Strike to start it off.
Right now, HFN was farming with no one in his lane, and that can mean two things. Either the Sand King and the Ancient Apparition are looking for the Venomancer in the jungle, or they're rotating on the mid lane. And seeing as how Venomancer has the high ground advantage, and he didn't see anything, Storm Spirit thought it wise to back up. But since paiN Gaming are still so willing to be aggressive, they still rotate the Earth Spirit and the Witch Doctor to the mid lane just to protect the Storm.
So it's just an open lane right now for HFN over bottom. I mean, once he gets his Battle Fury, he's going to be able to farm up like crazy. If you really want to give him an open lane, do you have to give him an open lane with the kind of start they had?
Yeah, we'll see where HFN goes with this, because actually he ended up finishing off an Aquila, and Aquila is typically skipped if you're planning on going for the Battle Fury build, because one of the biggest perks of Battle Fury is you get ridiculous amounts of mana regen for a carry, and cores who don't really typically have that kind of luxury of building mana regen items. So he sticks with the Aquila, and early Diffusal Blade would mean that we has more potential to be aggressive early on, and they can be more early game combat and make sure that this Lycan doesn't get an opportunity to split push, because, you know, Illidan's been keeping up the pace with the Phantom Lancer. Even though the Lycan hasn't been getting kills necessarily, he's still getting plenty of farm, plenty of experience. And yet again, we're seeing a Wolf heavy build as opposed to what seems to be the more recently favored Howl and Feral Impulse build.
For you!
Top of this chart right now is this Phantom Lancer as well as the Lycan. Lycan also having a pretty easy early game. Which hero between Lycan and Phantom Lancer benefits the most from these easy lanes?
If Spirit can make space for the Lycan, then Lycan definitely benefits from it, because the anti-push from paiN Gaming isn't exceptional. Sand King doesn't really have the most levels, and Enigma can pop down to Midnight Pulse and an Eidolon, but more often than not, a Lycan will just be willing to just push with his wolves. He doesn't really need creeps around. That happened in the bot lane. I keep assuming that Phobos is like, you know, I'm gonna just stick around in the jungle, but no. paiN Gaming refused to let up the aggression. Poor Biver, man. He keeps coming down here, and he wants to go roam mid. He wants to go roam top. This is never happening.
They're actually going to chase on over top. They've got the cast coming out on King RD. He's chased by Illidan, who's used that ulti, locks him in, but there's the Burrow Strike under this tower. We'll see if Taba comes over. He is level 6, possibly looking for Black Hole with Weeha now making the rotation. They finally take out the Sand King, so I don't know if they really want to look to chase. They find this courier for just a moment, might be able to kill it actually. Blink on over to FNG. They do kill the courier, and there's the Black Hole coming out from Tavo for this Witch Doctor. Seemingly a little too much, in my opinion.
What are you talking about? You don't want to put that Witch Doctor in a 7-second respawn timer? I think that seems absolutely worth it. Weeha gets another kill, and that kind of Black Hole means that they're not scared about Spirit at all. Storm Spirit has had, you know, an okay game, but Storm Spirit does not come online for a few more minutes. And if you have Eidolons, you have Weeha up here, and you want to transition into a push, then go ahead and commit the Black Hole and get that Witch Doctor out of there.
It looks like they're converging on the spot of Illidan, and now with King RD coming over, they might have the Burrow Strike to work with. There's the Glyph coming out, and Snare comes through from Illidan onto the Sand King, stopping him from going down. You take a look on over towards the top as FNG's looking to come over too, but he's just hit so hard. Now the Storm Spirit comes in to lock down Weeha. They should have the damage to kill him off, and they will. Nobody here for the side of paiN Gaming to really back up this Queen of Pain.
Weeha perhaps feeling himself a little bit too much. It was just a Witch Doctor initially, but then you see Spirit Heroes materializing and blinking in aggressively as a Queen of Pain with only 1 point in the blink is always a dangerous call.
ILTW continue to go in onto Duster. He's got the cold feet on him. He's going to freeze over. Now King RD's here, ready to get that Burrow Strike, but nice silence from his Earth Spirit, keeping alive their Storm Spirit.
Brothers in arms. Without that silence, Storm Spirit is definitely going to go down. And ILTW is feeling the pressure. This is pre-Kaya, this is pre-point booster, this is pre-anything. He just has a Null Talisman, treads, in a bottle, and you find it necessary to go for these movements because Weeha's being very mobile. You need to match this movement because Storm Spirit can't sit around. It's not like a Death Prophet where you're like, okay, if the enemy mid laner goes away, then I'm just going to go take their tower. That's not what a Storm Spirit can do.
Just left HFN open this entire time. They haven't, paiN Gaming haven't been fighting with HFN. He's just been continuing to farm and getting closer to that battle period.
Oh, but HFN's doing plenty of fighting, getting more and more kills on Phobos in the meantime, so I think he's handling the situation perfectly well. And he's sitting on a Quelling Blade of Perseverance, so it does look like he is going to finish out the full Battle Fury.
ILTW not with that Kaya yet, and he is looking to fight. You think that's the right move by him to just continue to try and force fights here, or try to force some positive engagements for himself, or does he really need to wait to farm that Kaya as well as maybe look for that next item afterwards before he really wants to go in on paiN?
Ideally he would like to farm, but his interest right now is banking on Illidan's Lycan. If you can make space for Lycan, which right now he's getting burrowed on, and there's no Black Hole available, but there is quite a bit of damage, but he's going to get out.
They aren't able to clean him up just yet. They've got FNG here, maybe thinking about going on King RD, but they do retreat, and they aren't going to let themselves try to go in on Sand King, maybe get baited into a fight that they don't want to take. But right now you see Weeha continuing to farm up. He's looking for that Orchid. You've got the Phantom Lancer looking closer and closer towards that Battle Fury. But for the other side, on the side of Team Spirit, you take a look at the Lycan. He's now going for the Necrobook, picking up that Helm of the Dominator first, and then of course, still that Kaya for ILTW. Actually freezes over mid, and now you got Weeha going in, possibly to go in on that Storm Spirit, but he's got the haste, and they don't make the commitment just yet. They do have that ulti from Weeha to possibly hit on the ILTW, but
he was dancing around there. He actually like willingly let the cold feet proc. It's possibly that he was just baiting, seeing as how he had a haste rune bottle. He thought he could get out of the situation. Pretty risky stuff. And ILTW, like, the problem with Team Spirit's power spikes is that, like, the first set of items are not as valuable as paiN Gaming's first set of items. It's like, King RD is working his way to a Blink Dagger. He's about 1,000 gold away. Phantom Lancer is working his way to that Battle Fury. He's going to have it pretty soon. Orchid is going to come out for Weeha, and we'll see what Enigma opts for. He doesn't have anything queued up, but he's sitting on 1,500 gold, and I think a Blink Dagger would be fine. If he wants to go more utility, like I mentioned earlier, then, you know, you can go for Greaves. You can go for a pipe if you find it necessary against the Venomancer, but seeing as how Phobos is having a pretty miserable time, which he's recovering, but nothing intimidating that you need to get an early pipe for, then ideally I would like to see more initiation from Tavo, but all these items are so much more valuable than Spirit's first handful of items. Like, Lycan has his Helm of the Dominator and Necrobook. That doesn't really mean very much right now. Venomancer is probably working his way to a Sword Staff. That doesn't mean very much. Kaya for Storm Spirit is probably the biggest spike, but same thing. It's not that important.
They looked over over top for just a moment to maybe go on an FNG, but now the rotation comes through from the Lycan. So let's see if Team Spirit are looking to turn this around. They do have the ability to do so with a good rolling boulder smash on HFN, but it's definitely a tough kill to get on this Phantom Lancer. He's able to just really get his way out. He has good escape mechanisms that can get him away from the side of Team Spirit early.
I'm over here.
And Ancient Apparition has hit level 6 now, so Ice Blast is available, and if you have to spend a handful of time killing one target, chances are an Ice Blast is going to come in, and possibly more follow-up from Weeha's Queen of paiN. But they're smoking up, and if they can find HFN...
FNG, he leads the charge, but there's the doppelganger out just for a moment. The boulder smash does hit with ILTW with the ball lightning forward. They've got the sounds coming through onto this Phantom Lancer. They'll get the kill. The Ice Blast doing nothing. Tavo comes through thinking about a black hole, but he's already lost his Phantom Lancer. There's no reason to throw one down, and you no longer have that, you know, that damage dealer in the Phantom Lancer. But they still look to re-engage. You take a look over as Tavo's still coming over, looking for the black hole. There's the Burrow Strike that's going to hit onto the Witch Doctor. Vivor's taken on the sidelines by Weeha. In fact, 2 heroes here. Tavo still holding that black hole for now, not looking like he's going to need it. Now they've got 2 kills here for Weeha, and now they look for more on Illidan. The ensnare comes out. The Wolves trying to do enough damage to King RD, make sure that Burrow Strike can't hit. The blink on forward from Weeha finally goes down is King RD. The chase is on. They've got the Shadow Strike on Illidan, but this is now, without their stunner, no longer a chase.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, Storm Spirit also manages to pick up a solo kill on Ancient Apparition with that freshly completed Kaya. Yeah, there was only one TP scroll available on the side of paiN Gaming, and it was the Sand King. Ideally, Phantom Lancer usually survives long enough. Like, as soon as he goes for that doppelganger, then everyone should start rotating the top lane, because you can win a fight more often than not. But unfortunately, Weeha had to just blink his way up there, Enigma had to walk his way up there, and Phantom Lancer does go down. And there's a slight retribution for Team Spirit with the Witch Doctor and Earth Spirit going down, but ideally they would have liked to get the Lycan.
And they've got Weeha going towards that Orchid, getting pushed closer with that double kill over top. He's looking at that, and then of course you've got the they've got the Battle Fury here for the Phantom Lancer, so HFN might sit back a little bit more and look to farm those next couple of items.
Dude, none of these South American players ever put anything in their quick buy. Like, once upon a time, casters didn't have access to it, and we had to do a lot of theorizing, and more often than not it was incorrect. Then we got quick buy, and it made life a whole lot easier. I see a single Blade of Alacrity in Phantom Lancer's inventory, but, like, you know, is it Diffusal? Is it Yasha? Who knows?
I'm gonna assume it might be Yasha in a Mana style.
Alright, I'm on board with that. They can purge this off.
Yeah, they're gonna look over bottom. They've got the Geomagnetic Group to silence some of it, as well as the cast. The Ice Blast comes in again too late. ILGW with another kill here on HFN. And Team Spirit, they're able to shut down HFN again.
Vivor's doing an exceptional job, and that may be part of the reason why he's considering a Mantis off first, being able to purge off that Geomagnetic Grip silence, and then proceeding to continue evasion, because he's just getting bursted down so fast that no one on paiN Gaming is really willing to rotate. Everyone's just like, yeah, you're dead. I mean, I'll toss an Ice Blast if it helps, but it's probably not going to help.
More often than not, it doesn't.
And now top lane, Tavo's getting hassled by Lycan, but Midnight Pulse.
Radiant's bottom tower
So what seemed to be a really good start for paiN Gaming is starting to crumble in their face, and what do they really need to do to regain their confidence, to regain their advantage?
It's up to Phantom Lancer. He could start fighting at this point, because he's getting crowd controlled because Team Spirit have no one else better than crowd control. Like, he's just farming by himself. Obviously, Spirit are going to pour everything into him, but if Weeha, Queen of paiN, and the HFN Phantom Lancer are in the same lane, then who do you prioritize? You only have a limited number of crowd control, and both of these heroes are very mobile, and both of them deal a ton of damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So instead, they're just going to send these heroes.
Yeah, they show over mid. They get the Rolling Boulder to come on through, as well as the ulti coming out from FNG. They're trying to get the Ice Blast to hit onto Vivor. They get the kill, and the Sonic Wave comes out to follow that up too. And it just seems like they sent Vivor in there to kind of die, and now it looks as though it's also going to be the Witch Doctor who goes down. So these 2 heroes that come over from Team Spirit end up both dropping pretty easily.
Yeah, this time Queen of paiN soaks up a fair amount of damage and almost dies, but retreats. Maldic does not finish her off, and then HFN finishes with the cleanup job. But well done by Spirit. They don't really send either of their cores into that fight. They do lose the mid-tier 1, but Storm Spirit gets a little bit more damage on the bot tier 2 and completes a Yule's off, and Lycan in the meanwhile has quietly made his way to a Necrobook 3. So both of these cores can, like, at this point they can now start making space for each other. Initially it was Storm Spirit making space for Lycan, and that has successfully paid off, and then Storm Spirit found some space for himself with these solo picks on Ancient Apparition and whatnot. But now Lycan's going to be pushing one lane, and Stormster's ideally going to get picks.
They've got the Blink Dagger as well as the Black Hole, and the Ice Blast to follow it up. There's the epicenter from King RD to get the kill on Illidan. They were setting up and posturing for that for quite some time as they saw Illidan continue to push over top, and they get that easy kill on the Lycan.
They want a little bit more. King RD has now completed that Blink Dagger. Tavo did indeed go for initiation Blink Dagger, and now Diver.
Fiverr in a bit of trouble as well as on the back line. The Motor Smash comes out. You take a look over at the Storm Spirit, continuing to zip-zap his way around. The ultis drop out by FNG. They look for the Burrow Strike coming through from King RD to try and get this kill. And now they move on forward as DK Phobos drops down the OT. HFN goes down as well as King RD. They look over at ILTW getting low. There's the Ghouls out. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it away. No cask available as Tavo comes in, but there's the Geomagnetic Grip. The Ice Blast will come in, and it's going to hit onto DK Phobos as well as FNG, but they're going to lose Weehaw. They might even lose Tavo, but just able to TP out, and Duster falls as well. So 4 dead on the side of paiN Gaming, and it doesn't seem like Team Spirit are that upset about losing their Storm.
Man, Biver is godlike this game. That Magnetize into Geomagnetic Grip completely disrupted the whole fight. Normally Storm Spirit is not going to be able to get away with that kind of maneuver at this stage of the game, right into paiN Gaming's face, especially when you have to deal with all the burst damage from the Queen of Pain, all the rushing from Phantom Lancer, but all these silences, Storm Spirit was able to get a few seconds of unimpeded damage and comes out on top. He dies in the end, but Homie doesn't have a Bloodstone yet. He knows that his job is to throw his body in. As long as he gets some kills and it's an overall exchange, then they're coming out just fine.
So Illidan as well as Bigger are going to smoke up. They head on over into Roshan, but these illusions from HFN immediately spot him up.
There's no medallion, so this isn't the fastest Roche. And there's an Ice Blast available. It's coming in.
Doesn't look at the moment, at least, that
it's about to time out, though. Yeah.
See if they try to go in. They're sitting around the stairs, thinking about threatening. You take a look over at the Illidan as well as the ball lightning that comes on through, but silence up is the Storm Spirit in a lot of trouble. The chase is on from Illidan as he continues on forward, trying to get the kill on Tavo. Tavo gets taken out as well as ILTW with the Sonic Wave coming out from Weehaw. The Manage on a couple of these heroes. You take a look at King RD, he drops as well. It's a 2 for 3 right now with a buyback coming out from this Ancient Apparition.
That was a overzealous buyback. He didn't have Ice Blast, but maybe they just really want to secure this Roche. Like, it's... Lycan is still up, but he doesn't have Necrobook, and...
Ooh, blink forward with a silence out here onto DK Phobos. FNG, the Ice Blast takes him out. And now the backline, Illidan's coming back in, as well as DK Phobos with the ulti dropping on an HFN. The cast bouncing around on a Duster. And it's just not seemingly enough for Team Spirit, but I don't know if even paiN Gaming are going to be able to finish off this Roche with Team Spirit threatening.
For some reason, HFN is backpacking his Blade of Alacrity.
Nicely done to get those goals the last hit, and that is another great play from Bibber with that Earth Spirit.
Well, the exchange continues. Now this time Spirit goes into the pit. Enigma has respawn now, but he does not have a blink. I mean, he does not have a TP scroll available. So the chipping process continues. Storm Spirit, I mean, Sand King does have a Blink Dagger epicenter, but he's not going to go for it.
Ooh, Blink Burrow Strike, that's going to hit onto ILTW, but I don't know about this. Not a lot more to really do from King RD as he will be taken out by the side of Team Spirit. And they do pick up the Aegis on ILTW and then get themselves another kill fed their way by paiN.
Weehaw is not really having the impact that I was expecting. He has his Orchid completed, but I guess the problem is that he's having to initiate and his Sand King is taking more of a backseat. Either that or Spirit are just being too aggressive. Like, Storm Spirit moved up to the high ground with the Ancients, and then Biver followed up very quickly, and they were able to silence off the Enigma in the beginning of that Roche engagement. And then after that, paiN Gaming were kind of scrambling. The thing is that you just need to send Sand King in first. Epicenter or no, as long as Sand King can create the chaos, then you let Wee pick and choose who he can Orchid. But if Wee goes first, then he's definitely going to go down.
Looks like paiN Gaming might think about defending here. They've got Tavo. He does have that Blink Dagger, of course, to work with. Possibly going for the Black Hole. Ball lightning forward is ILTW. But still on the top of these steps are paiN Gaming. They're just kind of waiting. They know they can concede the tier 2. It's not exactly the worst problem for them.
Yeah, and now they have Black Hole up. That was another big issue of their apprehension. Not only was Biver getting successful silences, but Enigma just wasn't able to get a Black Hole off because on cooldown. And a full pipe completed for Phobos. This is why I told you, he's consistent. He can get bullied all day long in the offlane and still come out with solid net worth.
And he finds his farm no matter what, and they're actually threatening over towards these stairs to go over on HFN. There's the rolling boulder as well as the geomagnetic grip. The board strike comes out on ILTW as well as the ball lightning. That's going to stun him up for just a moment on the back end of this fight. You take a look as Weehaw gets low. They'll take out King RD. There's the black hole coming through, but it's just not going to be enough. Weehaw drops as well. They look over at Tamo. The chase is on from ILTW, continuing on forward, but there's the age is going to be gone. The rolling boulder comes through, and they will kill off Tamo. They've also got themselves a kill on Duster, and HFN is able to just stay away from that fight and keep his life, but I don't think that's even a good thing. I think they might have wanted him to be in there a little bit more.
God, the more he gets in there, the more Viper's just gonna dance all over him. Viper is crushing at this game. That boulder smash after the grip, like, Sand King saw an opportunity for a 2-hero burst strike. He went for it. Then Queen of Pain approached from the exact same angle. They all lined up to get bowled down by Boulder Smash, 3-man stun, that Enigma Black Hole only managing to catch out one. ILTW was just on the fringe of it, and whenever he came down from the Yules, he wasn't included. And as soon as Enigma saw that, he canceled the Black Hole, tried to evacuate, but damage was already done. And Spirit coming out looking strong right now, taking a full set of racks in 22 minutes.
There's the double back to the Diffusal Blade, so not the Magic style that I thought it might be.
I don't know, with all these silences from Viper, I feel very scared if I'm a Phantom Lancer right now.
Seems to be playing against this Phantom Lancer perfect every single time, and that's how Team Spirit are benefiting in these fights.
Yeah, so the flip side is that maybe at this point you can start to bait HFN, because you know that Spirit have consistently initiated, and they spend a lot to make sure that Phantom Lancer can't get any spells up. It's always straight up roll into grip initiation onto the Phantom Lancer. That's 2 of Earth Spirit's spells down. So if you're aware of that kind of commitment, and you can kind of see that the backlines are going to come in soon after, which Storm Spirit's not easy to catch, but if you can catch the Venom Answer before he force staffs, then you can start picking Spirit apart from the back to the front. Thing is that paiN Gaming are also down on the vision side. As I mentioned in the previous series, Lightning Bolts are invaluable for scouting things out. And seeing as how the supports from Spirit are so rich, they also have plenty of detection to make sure that paiN Gaming just can't get wards on their side of the map.
So what's the plan for paiN Gaming? Like, do they even have enough time to sit back here? Where do they farm? Where do they get their net worth boosted up?
They have team fight, and at any point the game can rapidly swing. If you land a Black Hole, land an Epicenter, Ice Blast, Sonic Wave, there are so many options to come back into this game, but it's initiation.
Yeah, so they get the ball lightning coming through. They're going to lock down this Ancient Apparition, already taking out Duster. It just seems like it's not going well by any front for the side of paiN Gaming, but as I say that, they almost get the kill on ILTW. Continue on forward. King RD stuck there with the Sandstorm. There's the Geomagnetic Grip as well as the Boulder Smash, but they're able to get just the Ancient Apparition for now. A little bit low is King RD, forced to go all the way back to the well, and they still don't have this Black Hole to work with. DK Phobos gets the kill on to King RD in the well.
Yo, shout out to the dual pipe strat. Lycan with the pipe, blocking out 400 damage, and guess what? The stacking duration was removed in a recent patch, so let's throw on DK Phobos' other pipe on it. And what magic damage do you have? That Epicenter? Yeah, I don't really care. Sonic Wave, that's pure damage, sure, I'll take that. Midnight Pulse, that's pure damage, I'll take that too, but then where are you gonna finish these targets off?
So in that fight over top, it just doesn't seem like paiN Gaming have an answer at all. With the 2 pipes here, with the damage that Team Spirit
I don't think people have ever made answers for dual pipe strats before. I mean, you have, like, you know, physical damage is the ideal option, but the only physical damage dealer that's even capable, like, Queen of Pain can transition into one, like, later into the game. And Orchid is a relatively good item that kind of, like, bridges the gap, because you can turn it into a Bloodthorn. You're not fully committed to, like, a Veil or an Aghanim Scepter or stuff like that. You can still become a physical damage dealer if she wants to go for a Scotty or something like that, but that's going to come much later, and Spirit are going to continue pushing hard. They have this Lycan who's making his way to finish off a Assault Cuirass after this Queen of Pain. They're not going to let up the aggression anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's Team Spirit's kind of play, just being aggressive, playing at their own pace, playing the pace that they want to play in this game, and rolling all over their opponents. And they always, you know, even when they lose, it looks like their game plan is always threatening to the other side, to the point where you never even know if they're going to lose at that point, if that makes sense.
Spirit are unpredictable, but at the end of the day, like, they have a very organized playstyle. I never really see these heroes getting picked off, and now Storm Spirit
with the ball lightning is going to be immediately silenced. There's Theo coming out, and Bibber with that geomagnetic grip, and they've got the Black Hole coming out on ILTW with HFN trying to do enough damage at the moment, but I don't know if he's able to clean up enough. They do kill him off, but he's got 13 seconds until he comes back up with the Bloodstone. They continue on forward. They take out the Tavo. They take out Ancient Apparition as well. So 2 dead. No buyback here for paiN Gaming and HFN. He's very low. I don't know if he even wants to re-engage on this. The Sonic Wave comes out over the top. The Dire Courier is going to go down. They buy back on HFN. He's taken out by Bimmer. And over bottom, they continue on forward. The Orchid comes through from onto DK Phobos, but they just have nothing to protect this base. You look over at Weeha. He's already forced all the way back. The cast hits right on the stairs, but where do you defend? There's nothing you can do. You're down all these racks. Only one standing is one half over top, but it just looks like Team Spirit are going to finish off this game and go and move on and eliminate paiN Gaming. Take a look at Weeha trying to come in again, and now the Burrow Strike comes out as on the back lines is Weeha, but not doing enough. Again, HFN drops, King RD drops, and Weeha the only one alive with this Ancient Apparition left to try and make something happen. It doesn't look like he's going to make it back to base, but just steps over the stairs as they do lose all their racks. Go to Mega Creeps, and GG is called.
Freaking Fiverr, man. What a player. What a goddamn player. That was an amazing Earth Spirit performance. Team Spirit had no right coming back so strongly that early into the game. I thought if Spirit were going to come back, it was going to be off ILTW getting tons of Bloodstone charges, recovering exceptionally well, Lycan split pushing, something like that. But Fiverr was like, no. You leave it to me. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get Boulder Smashes all day long. Weeha's never going to even have a chance to play this game if I get my way.
It was 2 3-man silences as well. He was all over it, and I mean, I know the panel gets to pick the MVP, but I feel like for me and you, it's got to be the Earth Spirit.
These professional players make it look so easy, and then you roll in with an Earth Spirit and you can barely even land a single silence.
Yeah, I don't do that in my pub games just because I know how bad I am. So we're going to send it over to the panel. We'll take a look at what they have to say and see if they agree with us with the MVP picks. Over to you guys.
Thank you very much, B-Cop. Thank you very much, Tsunami. We're back onto the panel, and we've got to break this down a little bit. Was this simply an outplay, or was there a draft issue here?
There was a draft issue for Team Spirit.
Yeah, I would say if, let's say, equal teams played best of 5, that Radiant team lineup would win most of the time. They had nothing to pierce Enigma's BKB. They had no clear for Phantom Lancer illusions. I would say also Storm Spirit got much more farm than Queen of paiN on mid, which should not happen. One more thing, the itemization on side of paiN Gaming was really bad. I'll point some of the mistakes. Battle Fury Phantom Lancer seems like everyone think it's a super great idea. If he went for Diffusal Blade against a hero like a Storm Spirit just to burn his mana early on, I think they could have a different game. But it was a Storm Spirit that had, I think, 4 kills in the laning stage. So you should not blow that advantage that you have. Also, Queen of paiN went for Power Threads, which delays your Orchid. Storm was already ahead of him, so he's going to build into Yule Scepter, and you're just wasting 1k gold just to delay your Orchids.
Lumi?
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Team Spirit, but or not Team Spirit, the paiN Gaming, but I think Biver just solo carried Team Spirit. There was a very impending win condition from paiN Gaming's draft. Like, if it went to a certain point late enough, Enigma was just going to pretty much win every single team fight. But Biver just, every fight that he showed up to, he made Weeha's life miserable. Like, on one end, you could say, oh, Weeha played very poorly, but on the other, it's just Biver making his life very, very tough. Every time Queen of paiN blinked in, he just got silenced immediately, and the Quap just died. So I was actually looking up at Biver's statistics. I mean, they always pick him Sanking. He rarely plays the Earth Spirit, but man, got to pick him Earth Spirit more.
Well, he's not that old school of a player.
Okay.
He had some experience in Navi, but the guy is actually a beast. I still want to see his Chen, man.
I think everyone wants to see Chen in general.
I'll point out ILTW. I love you. I love to win. Or
I love you a long time.
It's not.
No, Lumi.
It's not. I love to win.
I lie to wife. So his performance was also amazing. It was a good Storm Spirit game because they did not have enough lockdown for him. So he was in the front line providing vision, especially when they were sieging towers, just going in, forcing everyone to throw spells on him while Lycan and Venomancer are dealing damage. Also, DK Phobos was shut down so much on that offlane. I think he had 0-5 at one point and still managed to get back into the game. Also, Biver was there, died a couple of times. Usually you see Earth Spirits not having an easy time coming back into the game because Earth Spirit is one of the heroes that you need to keep hitting those early boulders and those rolls, so you can actually make some kills and get the XP. But it did not happen at the start. But he managed to actually get back into the game and carry this team.
Yeah, one of the really big strength of Team Spirit's lineup is that whenever they do get a small engagement victory, their lineup just allowed them to take so much objective from the map, right? Even the Veno that like started, what, 0-5, you just plop down wards. In the middle of the game, if you just die, as long as you press your ultimate, it's fine. So I felt like their lineup really rewarded the way that they played this game, which is, hey, we're going to get 2 kills and we're going to get a tower. And then they rinse and repeat. And it almost felt like that paiN Gaming didn't recognize what their win condition was, which is go late.
Yeah, also they had an easy time because of all of the vision that they had. First you have Storm Spirit going in, then you have Earth Spirit as well, plus you have Lycan Wolves, also summons, Venom Wards as well. That's a lot of vision.
You know, the one thing that I think both of us forgot is, like, when I was watching the game, Lycan just dominated the Dark Shore Warlord.
Yeah, so
and that was like a
black
and then
hole,
BKB.
yes.
So when I saw, I was like, wow, that's super smart. I'm sure if it actually came up in the game, but it was a nice addition to the draft.
So ILTW as well going to be getting the MVP vote this game on his Storm Spirit. He did play phenomenally, and as you said, Lacoste, no one could control him because basically the only disables was that Sand King and the Enigma. Could this have been maybe dealt with that last pick instead of a PL for paiN Gaming?
Maybe if it was a different hero, it could have made a difference, but with only Sand King stun, and he was actually forcing them to stun him because he knows he's gonna live. Enigma stun is not reliable. After it ticks, he can still jump away.
Anything to add, Lumi?
No, I still stand by that. I think paiN Gaming's draft was fine. It's just that they made a couple of mistakes and they were punished very heavily by it.
Okay, so it looks like for now it's going to be OG versus Spirit coming up next, but first, Ari Neiman on the main stage has an interview for us.
Team Spirit take the win against paiN Gaming. Moving on to fight OG. Tell us about the draft and how it influenced your play.
Well, we suddenly decided to pick some new heroes for us, like Lycan. We really rare to play with it. Yeah, so it was just sudden game. We just tried to play like a team and do our best. That's what I feel.
Are you guys familiar with playing with Lycan?
As a player, we're familiar, but as a team, we didn't play too much with it.
How often do you guys usually play?
Me, I'm spamming it in pubs.
You spam it in, okay, like, people agree, like, great. Spam Lycan in pubs, that's great. Congratulations on the win. You guys performing really, really strong throughout the tournament. But now you're going to be facing OG in the best of 1. How do you feel about that?
I'll just beat Roman. Nothing special, you know.
Just beat Roman. One thing, when Illidan says Roman, that's resolution. So they're actually, you guys are good friends. You're going to beat him. You say, oh, we're just going to beat Roman, and that's the story.
I don't know. He didn't win a single pop against me. Why he should win here? I have no idea.
He did not win a single pub against Illidan. Resolution. Illidan's calling out some numbers, Rezo. If you're hearing this right now, I'm just saying he hasn't won 1 pub against you.
Yeah, not a single. In Southeast Asia, not a single.
In SEA, not a single one. I like this. So we have a little bit of like some brotherly, of course, rivalry here. Not a single one. We're quoting Illidan on that. Well, go on.
I'll just teach my son some lesson.
I'm gonna teach my son some lessons. I love it. Rezo. And it's time to go to school. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Here. What's that?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Illidan.